Hello, everyone.
Hello. That was a really sensual approaching of the mic.
What do you mean?
It was very sensual of you.
What do you mean?
This is a very sensual episode of Adastra, everyone.
Isn't every episode? That sounded cool.
I wonder what that was.
That's either somebody really excited for the month of 4th of July or a transformer blowing up, and not the cool kind.
I think a transformer might have did a pop.
That's what it sounded like, especially with the raging
A car
storm.
robot?
Yeah. Bumblebee didn't make it.
Yeah, what they do is they crawl up on top of the power lines, and then they just sort of curl up into a little fetal position, and then they stay there and they cocoon themselves. And that's what those big grayish cylindrical things are. Those are transformer.
Good.
Typically just called Transformers.
Transformers is a bad franchise. Well, yeah, we're here. What was it? The last thing that happened was we were talking to Nefidu.
We were talking to Nefidu and Virginia.
Oh, we were. We're room bound.
Yeah, we're stuck here because
Yeah.
we had a whole little escapade of nearly getting killed.
We sent Kato to the hospital.
We did. We ripped his fucking eyes out.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to see him again. It's going to be such a good little
I'm sure he's
reunion.
gonna greet our boy Marco very kindly,
Oh, yeah,
very
for sure.
warmly.
I'm excited to see Cassius after tasing the shit out of him.
Cassius has done nothing wrong. A few days pass like this. There's a bizarre calm in the air. The palace is quite quiet despite the absolute chaos that the top echelon of the empire is in right now. In the meantime, Cassius becomes emperor with surprisingly little fanfare.
Oh, so we went ahead and moved on with it then.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I watch it on the screens. The young white wolf's right leg and left arm in cast.
Broken. He's a fragile little shit baby.
When you said you sent him to the hospital, I thought you meant on a grocery run.
Well,
I mean, I guess you could say that Kato went out for a pack of cigarettes and just hasn't come back yet.
That's kind of true.
Yeah. He seems like a cigarette kind of guy.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think he would smoke a pipe of tobacco?
No, you see, he wants to be cool, you know?
A hip with the kids?
Yeah, hip with the kids, you know? Has the
well,
skateboard,
he's gotta get the
hello,
vape.
fellow
He's
kids.
gotta get the vape.
Oh, yes. He chuffs them fat
Oh,
cotton.
wait. Do you think Cassius uses a vape because he can't handle cigarettes or cigars?
He uses a Juul. He doesn't
Oh.
see Kato has the big black vape rig, the big box mod.
Yeah.
The box with the clear so you can see what's in it, and then you've got
Well, kind of. Well, no.
and you've got to have the lipo battery. Listen, when I worked at a hobby store, motherfuckers would come in and try and get RC vehicle lipo batteries to put in their vape rigs.
Oh.
That's amazing.
That can't be good.
I mean, people wanted some high power stuff put in them. It's crazy.
See, Kato wouldn't just have the tank.
Yeah.
His would be the drip kind where you have to take the mouthpiece off, take your bottle, drip your flavor onto the cotton, and you're good for probably 8 or 9 hits before you have to do it again.
Oh, I know a couple guys who use those bottles.
Yep. And that's how he sounds every time.
Oh, yeah.
He loves the big... Man, did I ever tell you about how Johnny was super into vaping at one point?
Johnny's dead, and we're still just
Ripped on him.
making fun of him.
But no, Johnny was pretty into vaping for a couple months, when we were
That sounds about...
19.
You know what?
He thought it was all cool and hip, and then he realized how fucking chuffed he was.
No, it's very of a 48-year-old like Johnny to go, ooh, this is what the kids are into.
But this was
and he has the money to just throw at it.
Well, no, this was before he was a rich boy. This was back when we were I don't know, like 19, 20, 21, something around there.
When they first came out.
Something around. I think we were around 21. He like his tank was called the Phantom, and it was like this big. Like he had the big box, which was this big, and the mouthpiece that went on top that was this big.
Why?
Wait, no. I remember him talking about this with you. I remember him coming in and being like, "Hey, remember I got you that vape thing," and you had that like long cylindrical thing.
He had bought a couple of them because he wanted me to do it because that was back when we were still living together, and I did do it, but not with any sort of freak regularity. And I like, as soon as the juice ran out in the tank, I never filled it back up. Johnny was all in, but he quickly graduated from the large pen stick to big old box mod with a humongous like 3-4 inch mouthpiece because he just wanted to rip the biggest fucking clouds.
God,
he wanted to chuff the fattest cotton.
He is the biggest white loser I've ever met in my life. I can say this because he's dead and has moved on.
He's got COVID right now.
That's hysterical.
Oh, he's not gonna be able to drive his Mazda, his little turbo whoosh whoosh Mazda.
No, he's not going to be able to drive.
Man,
his
he's
little
fucked that car, hasn't he?
Oh, he's definitely shoved his dick in that whole tailpipe. Absolutely.
The way he talked about it the last time I saw him.
He's definitely had sex with his car, for sure.
Yeah.
He's never been more proud of anything that in his entire life.
He would sell his girlfriend for more time with his car.
God, that's so sad though, because like he bought it like that. He didn't even put in the work for it.
He bought it all tricked out, all the features.
Well, yeah, that's what an old white man like him does.
Heated steering wheel, heated and air conditioned seats. He got them super tinted. He did recently self powder coat his calipers.
They're gonna peel.
Well, he did it with his girlfriend's dad, who does a lot of car things, so I don't think they will. And but they look very nice
For now.
But no, I just wanted to tell that about Johnny because I realized I'd never talked about it. Johnny was super into vaping for a little bit.
And he's a coronet?
And he's
Coronated.
Coroneted.
like when you go to coronation.
Oh, okay, yeah. By Kato, who is now missing his visor. Do we get to see?
Oh, is he just wearing sunglasses?
Oh my god, I want him to look like Gendo from 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time. This isn't explained to the viewers at all. I don't feel much as this happens. Realizing how fake all of this is, how it doesn't seem to mean anything despite how much I'm told it means. It's all theatrics. What matters most now is taking, the two of them down and getting Amicus up out of the dungeon. Right, he's still in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Oh. Even now, I'm not really thinking about getting home, despite the fact that the stretch drive should be returning at any moment now, if it hasn't already.
But Cassius isn't the true king. He didn't win the thing. Oh, is Marco the true king because he won? Is that going to be the plot twist?
I hope not. Do you think Marco deserves anything?
Not really.
Exactly. There are bigger things at stake here. The main one being my best friend's life. It's best friends.
Best friend that I also tribbed with. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called.
And that's why on the third day after the fake trial, I find myself eagerly involving myself in a discussion with Nefidu as he tells me his plans. Akato is due back into the palace that day, and we both suspect he'll be making a trip to our room.
So the most important thing to the wolves is drama, a scene, something memorable. That's all they seem to care about around here.
Nefidu, sniffs dismissively at his sip of his wine, and I find myself starting to see why Amicus might find it so irritating.
No, he's great.
No. Not that he's wrong though, and I usually find myself agreeing with him.
He's my favorite, Michael.
Oh yeah, why?
He's just cool.
It's because he looks like an Umbreon.
That's not even true.
I wasn't gonna say it
Shut up.
because I didn't want to make a reference, but I was really thinking.
Parrish, shut up. He's cute. Leave me
Literally
alone.
everyone points this out about Darian.
Wow, I didn't know you had a type.
I don't. We're moving on.
So, make a scene that makes Kato and Cassius look bad.
Well, most importantly, we need to find, or even make up information about them that will irreparably damage their reputation in the public sphere. Oh, we're gonna gossip.
Marco's good at that. Like what Cassius did to Amicus during the second trial. Nephedy smirks.
Even worse than that, Marco. Preferably something that shows disloyalty, or insults the pride of the wolves in general. That is something they can't often look past.
Can you imagine if someone did that to, like, someone who was running for presidency?
Oh, what, like release a sex tape?
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Like, live
You mean
during,
like
like...
Richard Nixon's sex tape?
But like live.
No, like live during a press event.
Oh my god.
Like, that's what happens in this game.
Oh, that's so funny.
Isn't it?
Your wolf boyfriend was having sex with this jackal guy, and it was recorded, and then during a press conference, it was leaked to the entirety of this planet while the press conference was going on.
Oh, it's
Essentially.
so good.
It's pretty good.
Didn't Amicus having sex with you show disloyalty or hurt their pride? Nephedy waves his paw dismissively in the air.
No, it's been established amongst the public that he was simply furthering his goal of an alliance with my species, which was completely in line with his character. As for pride, well, he wasn't the one raising his tail.
I sigh. So we need something about Cassius and Kato that's out of their character.
Yes, something that shows them to not be who they say they are. The public must distrust them.
Nephedy strokes his chin.
Oh, I see why you like him.
I don't know what you mean. Would be
No, wait.
Yes.
Please put in the chat if you knew that Darian's favorite character was going to be Nephedy.
But they didn't. No one knew because no one knows me.
Uh-huh.
Everyone put an F in chat right now for
Please put an F
I
in
will
the
not.
chat.
I will not take this L. We're moving on. I return the L. No L for me. Would be convenient to have all that footage that Virginia was talking about, but considering how secure it might be, that could be impossible.
Worth trying to get, though.
Yes, I'll have to discuss it further with Virginia.
So, what should I be doing? Staying fucking still. While it feels good to talk about what can be done to help Amicus, I personally want to do something. And Nephedy pauses, then smiles at me.
Marco, my duty is to not put you in danger, as I've said. I won't have you...
Well, I don't care. I need to help. I'll do whatever I have to do. Nephedy raises an eyebrow at me.
Oh yes? Even if it might risk your own life? Kato is only barely tolerating the protective line that being a Chemian citizen affords you. I would not push him further.
Then I'll do things behind the scenes. I don't care. I just want to do something. Nephedy sighs deeply.
We'll see. Just keep in mind that the most important thing to Amicus is that you stay alive. That's what you can do that will help him in the most.
I take that in. I'm still not fully convinced that there's nothing I can do.
But I'll certainly let you know if I believe there's a way for you to help. As for me, my status leaves me untouchable, unless Kato wants to risk another war, which I guarantee you he does not.
I'd imagine. He has first-hand experience.
Indeed.
Nephedy, Kato wishes to enter your quarters. I jump, wondering if the walls are thin enough for the old wolf to have hurt us. Nephedy doesn't seem surprised, though.
Ah, as we expected. Com, please tell him to hold for a moment. I'm in the nude.
Yes, Nephedy. Nephedy looks at me.
I suppose our mission starts now. I have my own drone recording in the corner there. hopefully to catch the old man saying something incriminating. What I'd like you to do is crouch behind those bushes, keep hidden and quiet.
What? I thought I was supposed to be involved.
You will be, but I'd rather not. I'd rather he not filter himself because of you.
I hesitate for a second, then quickly do as I'm told, even though I do feel bitter at the feeling of being tossed aside once again.
Oh, are we gonna see Kato without his fucking... Oh, shit. Neferdu, I will override the security again if you do not.
Kato's voice crackles over the speakers, but that's when the jackal opens the door, and for a moment, his voice comes from 2 places at once. I am pretty well hidden behind a few trees and bushes. My surroundings are dark enough that I'm pretty sure Kato wouldn't be able to see me, though the leaves and twigs I'm peeking through. The 2 males stand awkwardly across from each other before Kato suddenly strides in, forcing the jackal to step aside, though Neferdu keeps that smug smile on his face.
What a pleasure it is to have you visit me today.
As Kato walks in, I get a look at his face for the first time.
Oh, damn.
He's got a,
He's pretty hacked up.
He's fine. I'd seen that he lacked his visor in the broadcast, but seeing it up close, the stern looks I'd always imagined under his now broken machinery is definitely there. His eyes have a milky gray quality to them, heavily scarred. The old wolf stops just in front of the fountain. His ear is perked up. I wonder if he can see anything at all, and Neferdu asks just that.
How is your sight, your former highness?
I see one of those ears twitch before the wolf slowly turns around.
Non-existent, young prince. Oh, please, just call me Nef. Where is the alien?
Neferdu pauses.
Alex? Or do you mean... You know damn well who I'm referring to, Jackal.
Neferdu raises his paw defensively, even though Kato can't see.
Apologies, Kato. Marco told me he would be in the gardens doing landscaping work.
Kato snorts.
I didn't hear him out there. It is a rather large garden, a very beautiful one as well.
Kato doesn't respond, instead staring around the room.
Would you like some wine?
Neferdu gestures at the bedside table, picking up his own goblet to take a sip, loudly. I see Kato's ears twitch again before he turns to the jackal.
What is your plan with the alien?
Neferdu frowns.
Plan? Do not ever play games with me. That will be my only warning to you, Jackal.
Kato's voice is so cold and ominous that even Neferdu's grin wavers. He quickly recovers and... taking another loud slurp of wine.
Such good wine. One of the few superior products that your people produce. Now, as for Marco, I'm simply fulfilling a promise to Amicus. I see. That wasn't so hard to tell me then, was it? Speaking of, quite astonishing that he was so easily beaten by Cassius, of all people. Quite. I wonder how he was able to accomplish such a feat. It was broadcast. You would have been able to see it. Ah, well, I don't watch Adastran broadcasts. Too much melodrama and propaganda for my taste. Pugnu is a combination of skill and luck, and it's not always the strongest that wins. Of course. Though I have to wonder, might any of that luck have been, well, manufactured?
Kato was silent for a moment. Kato being silent is when you know that something is very wrong.
Are you implying something, Jackal? Oh no, I'm simply curious. I came to study the politics and workings of the Empire, while also trying to improve relations between our species. I feel knowing all the facts, so the facets of woven politics is important.
Kato sneers.
There's a fine line between studying and spying here.
Neferdu chuckles.
Well, what do I know? what I do know is that you wolves often go about things in a theatrical fashion, and it's sometimes hard to tell what's real or not. I assume the fight to be, well, somewhat staged.
Heh.
Kato chuckles, and immediately I know that Nefidu is making a lot of mistakes here. I'm not sure what his plan is. Maybe he thought that Kato would be more friendly with him, or that he could lull the old wolf into a false sense of security somehow. Maybe he's just trying to feel the old man out. I also get the feeling that maybe he shouldn't have had all that wine before doing this. He's suave, a carefree attitude works on most, either to charm or to annoy, but Kato is not someone I feel it will work particularly well on. Either way, it's clear Kato knows exactly what's happening.
I know Kemians pride themselves on their own intelligence, but I have to wonder why considering your extreme stupidity. Oh?
And Nefidu casually sloshes his wine about in his goblet.
Your arrogance amazes me, young one. I know you were fortunate enough to have been birthed after the war, but it's as if you were never taught the history between our peoples. I spent countless hours studying this history, Kato, and that's mostly why I'm here. Mostly. It seems the rest of that reason is to fuck with the delicate balance our empire is currently in. Certainly not. I am merely an observer.
I want to tell Nefidu to shut up, to just tell Kato to go look for me out in the gardens or something. I can see the hackles on Kato's shoulders rising, and I can only hope that the jackal was right about being untouchable.
I know I offered you to stay in this palace as long as you pleased, and I never withdraw an offer without good reason. But have you thought of moving out of the city? There are many more accommodations out there. Oh, no thank you. I much prefer it here. Everyone is so interesting. It is just like a Kemian to take full advantage of a wolf's tolerance.
And Nefidu quirks an eyebrow.
Tolerance? Not a word I often associate with a wolf.
I can tell that Nefidu's losing his cool as well.
Our tolerance for your arrogance was unprecedented.
Nefidu seems confused for a moment.
Oh, are you referring to the war? I'm sorry, we're quite a bit more blunt where I'm from, so I did not realize what you were getting at.
Nefidu smirks.
For a moment, I thought you were coming on to me much like Amicus did.
Definitely too much to drink, or this jackal is a lot crazier than I thought he was.
You wolves tend to be aggressive like the...
Kato becomes a blur, closing the 5-foot distance between the two of them in less than a second.
Oh, damn.
The next thing I know, Kato has the jackal up against one of the pillars, slamming Nefidu so hard against it that I can see plaster crack and fall away. And Nefidu gasps loudly, kicking out at Kato a few times as he struggles with the old wolf's thick arms.
Get off!
Nefidu kicks out again, this time at Kato's groin. If the old man felt anything, he doesn't show it, instead holding Nefidu tightly in place while he snarls on his face.
Speaking of tolerance, I have tolerated your arrogance for far too long, just because you are the Pharaoh's son. The second son, and of a ruler who has so little power over his kingdom in the first place. I shouldn't be surprised.
Kato pulls Nefidu forward, that's what it is, then slams his back against the pillar again, causing more plaster to fall, and the jackal's teeth to clack together loud enough that I can hear.
You're all the fucking same, every single one of you, but somehow you're the worst I've yet to meet.
Again, Kato slams Nefidu against the pillar, and I start to stand up, wishing I had a Nervo. And Nefidu growls, trying another kick.
Is this the next generation of Kemian we must deal with? I know you weren't alive for the war, but it seems another one is inevitable if you're an example of what's to come.
Nephew tries to speak, but lets out a choked cough. Mikado loosens his grip, and Nephew gasps a few times.
You know, Amicus was a bit less rough, but if you wanted to put your paws on me, you only had to.
This time, Kato almost lifts the jackal off his feet, cutting Nephew off with a horrific gag, like he's throwing up.
I must say, you have a funny way of going about building an alliance. It's as if you thought tail-raising would get you whatever you wanted.
Then, now Nephew really starts to struggle, kicking around and aimlessly, throwing his head right and left and right, sending drool flinging from his muzzle. Kato doesn't relent, and I know this is my cue to do something.
It's been a while since I've killed a jackal. My paws have been itching to do it again. Maybe you'll be my next.
I don't know what to do exactly. I have no weapon, but I wonder if maybe I can at least distract the wolf long enough for Nephew to get away, to breathe again. So I ran out of my hiding place, rustling the bushes and leaving as I do. Kato is so focused on what he's doing to Nephew that he doesn't seem to even hear me. As I run at him, I can see the wolf grinning maniacally into Nephew's face, like this really is something he's been wanting to do for a very long time. He finally seems to hear me at the last second, turning his head in my direction before I lower my shoulder to try and tackle him off of Nephew. It's like hitting a brick wall covered in fur.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know if Marco's going to be able to do anything to him. He's kind of very big.
I make contact with the old man's side, and for a moment I get a whiff of musk and perfume before I'm sent right back down on my ass. I wonder for a moment if I've dislocated my shoulder, looking up in a daze as to what result my attack might have had, if any. To my relief, I see Nephew on his paws and knees, gagging and coughing, drool springing from his muzzle. Kato is standing slightly to the side, looking in my direction, over my head, but he clearly knows where I am. He only focuses on me for a moment, though. Then he turns his head in the direction of the coughing jackal, Nephew crawling away at this point. Kato makes his way towards him before drawing back a foot. I can only reach out, not even having enough time to ask Kato to stop before the wolf kicks the jackal between the legs. He doesn't. He does it so hard that I see Nephew's knees skip off the ground for a moment before he pitches face, first into the marble on his knees and clutching at himself as he lets out a howl of agony. I cringe immediately, thinking of the time I kicked Amicus and how much harder Kato must have kicked Nephew. I start to move towards them again, in case Kato thinks of doing something else, but the old wolf simply stands there, breathing heavily, head tilted down as he listens to Nephew's moan.
For the kicks you gave me earlier. I should put your whoring out of commission for a few days, no?
Nephew is curled up on his knees at this point, paws tucked into himself. It's at this point that I see a gush of red liquid overflowing from his muzzle. And for one horrific moment, I wonder if somehow Kato had kicked himself so hard that he'd ruptured his organs or something. But no, it's the wine, and it spills across the marble. Kato wrinkles his nose at the retching sound before carefully stepping around the jackal.
As I said, I won't withdraw my offer for you to stay, but there are many apartments open in the city. Just know that you will not be able to take the new citizen with you. Otherwise, I'd like to try this discussion again in the future, if you're willing to be more cooperative. With
that, the old wolf stalks out of the bedroom. At the same time, 2 white drones float in, hovering over Nefidu. One lowers itself to the ground to begin cleaning up the mess, while the other one holds out what looks like a couple capsules on a plate, which is balanced on a metal appendage. Yes. In Nefidu, you seem to have vomited. Would you like anti-nausea medication? I stumble over to the jackal and kneel at his side and try to help him in any way I can. He simply keeps his eyes screwed shut. Yes, holding up a paw before returning it to the sore spot. Awkwardly, I rub at his shoulder, trying to ignore the smell as the drone does its work of cleaning up the puke. A few minutes later, I manage to help the jackal to the bed, his breathing ragged the entire time. It's strange seeing him like this. Usually so confident and in control.
Bless you.
I think we should probably end the part here.
Think
That
so?
sounds, yeah. Well,
Okay.
just we're at like the 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That was real exciting.
Wasn't it?
That was exciting
We
as
got to
hell.
see Kato do something.
He
He's
showed
been
up.
all bark and no bite.
I mean, he's been a little bit of bite.
I mean, I feel like just assaulting Amicus doesn't count.
Fair enough.
Everyone gets to do that in this game.
Yeah,
in one
that's
way or
fair.
another.
But you know, the risk of causing an international incident, he doesn't give a fuck.
He can just say that like Nefidu drowned in the lake or something.
It's true. But he said
Accidents happen.
He said there was recording, so we'll see.
It is what it is.
We shall see.
Well, we'll see you around, everyone.